Hey everyone, Mrs. Steinbrück here. Just wanted to go through our playlist for week 2 of our middle school study skills virtual class. As always, you will find most of our links to everything on our playlist. So this is the week of September 21st through 25th. Just like last week, you'll click on the specific days if you want to know specific assignments. Thanks to all of us that joined us this morning for our Zoom. We had almost everybody except for a few people that I knew were out of town, and we will see you next week. I'm going to walk through kind of what we talked about in class today as a recap, just a quick 2-minute review of what we talked about today, and then I will go through our weekly learning just to clarify a few things so that hopefully it will clear up any questions you might have. Today in class, we talked briefly about kind of managing our materials and things that we do well and things that we need some work on. And then we also talked about time management, and we discussed a little bit that how do I spend my time. So we talked a little bit about what most of our time is spent on in the day. We decided that a lot of it was between school and sleep, and some people were able to also fit in some sports and video games and some fun stuff as well. So we'll continue to talk about time management throughout the course of this semester as we continue to learn how to make ourselves better time managers and what we can do to help ourselves make better use of our time. So we want to make sure we have time to do things that we have to do as well as things that we want to do. So that was kind of the basis of our review for last week. Just real quickly, let's talk about this week's assignments. So we're going to take a look at tomorrow's work. It talks about watching this video found in our playlist. And then we're going to complete page 21 in your executive function workbook. And that's the skinnier workbook with the binding. The video kind of talks about ways to manage homework and things like that. So remember, if you can't find the video links, they're usually located in our playlist. So our time management video is located within Tuesday's post. If you're getting a head start today, you can find it here. After you're done with that, we're going to skip through some things in here. We're going to skip a few pages and we're going to jump up to page 28. And our focus for this week is study strategies. So I really want you to think about the study strategies that you already have in place and evaluate yourself. So the first step you're going to do is read page 28, kind of comb through that, and then you're going to evaluate yourself about how are your study skills already. So you will complete this chart along with the reflection questions down below. Please make sure that your reflection questions are written in complete sentences, meaning you have your capitalization, punctuation, and you're rereading to make sure that everything makes sense. So check your assignment post for details, but you will be uploading that picture. When you're done with that, you're going to skip through a couple pages, and we're going to learn about a strategy called the CUCC strategy, which stands for Circle, Underline, Count, and Complete. I have posted a brief video that you'll find right here on this link, and you will review that and see kind of what different components of this strategy are going to help you when you're trying to decode directions. So things to remember when you're using this CUCC strategy is to always preview your assignment before you begin. Circle any direction or action words you find. Underline the key words that go along with that action. Number the direction words to understand the steps involved, especially when you get into harder assignments and there's numerous steps. This is important. And then you're going to make some kind of plan to help you get to that end goal. So the video that I posted will help you, but let's talk a little bit about the assignment you're going to complete using this method. On page 33 in your executive function workbook, you will follow the directions given. It's called a CUC model and practice. Our model and practice is this animal project. So it's kind of like a 2-4 assignment. You will be practicing this strategy, but you also will have a small project when you're done. So the directions ask you to choose an animal that you have been studying in class. We all know that we're not studying an animal in class right now. So what you need to do is choose an animal of your choice. It can be up to you, an animal you're interested in or an animal you want to learn more about. And you're going to follow the directions to complete the assignment. The directions state, take a 5x7 note card and write the name of the animal at the top of one side. On the other side of the card, draw a picture of your chosen animal and write 5 facts about the animal on the side with its name. Check your picture to make sure the facts you wrote can be seen in the picture. So that's the project you're doing. But you also have to complete page 33 in your executive functions workbook. This will be you breaking down those directions into that CUCC method. So you're going to be circling and underlining different directions and entering it into this form on page 33. You don't necessarily need to write the due date or the date due. You know that all our assignments are always due the Sunday following our learning for the week. So everything's due on Sunday. So you can disregard the due date and the completed portion on page 33, but you do need to complete list the steps in this project and also see if there are any hidden steps that aren't included in the directions, but that you will need to include to finish your project. So this, as I said before, is kind of like a twofold assignment. You will be actually doing your little animal project as well as showing me how you're using the strategy to decode the directions. For Wednesday, you're going to start by watching the skimming video that's found on our playlist, and then you're going to click on this Newsela article. You'll notice when you get there, if you don't already have one, you'll have to create a Google account, and you'll just click sign in with my Google account, and it will take you right to this article. You will be using the article posted on Wednesday's playlist to complete page 36 in your executive function workbook. So, we talked a little bit about skimming as well on our Zoom today, and basically skimming is finding those key things that will help you determine what the most important parts of your article are. So you are completing page 36 in your executive function books. On the bottom, the last question asks, does this article connect with the focus of your project topic? If so, how? You do not need to complete that on either one of our skimming activities this week because we're not putting this into a bigger project yet. We're going to skip that step. So as always, check Google Classroom to make sure that you're not missing anything and to make sure you know which components need to be posted via picture on Classroom. So Thursday is super similar. You'll also be doing another Newsela article, and you're practicing that skimming strategy again. So if you can't remember a lot about our strategy, that skimming strategy, you may watch the video again that's found on our Wednesday post. And then you're going to complete page 37 just as you completed page 36, remembering that you don't have to answer the last question that asks, does this article connect with the focus of your project topic? If so, how? Lastly, on page, or on Friday's weekly playlist, we're going to take a look at page 41 in our executive function workbook. And these give some ways that you can think about improving your reading and written expression. So you're going to make a chart that you can use to remind yourself of ways to improve in the areas of reading and writing. It might be, maybe you're going to make a chart or a poster with pictures of things that will remind you of these different strategies, like previewing the chapter, reading the summary. So you're going to make a list of things that can help you improve reading and writing. You can use some suggestions in your executive function workbook, but I also suggest you researching things that you find on the internet as well of strategies that can help you improve both reading and writing. The last thing we're going to do for this week is something where you can apply some of your learning to a curriculum you're using at home. So what you need to do is you need to read page 42 in your executive function workbook, and you're going to learn about how to kind of assess a chapter in your math book. So what you'll do is you are going to learn how to both scan and connect and read and question. You're going to take some notes as you read. As you go into a new chapter, you're going to find a chapter you haven't gotten to in your math book yet, and you are going to You're going to take some notes on page 43 in your executive function workbook. You're going to take some notes about the main concepts. You're going to scan the chapter and look for titles, headings, vocabulary, and images, and think about what you already know. Make some connections and take some notes. And the last thing you're going to do is read the chapter carefully to identify new information. And you're going to think of some questions that you might still have. And you're going to write down some questions for different portions of your chapter on page 43. So basically what this is doing is helping you evaluate a chapter in your math book that you might be unfamiliar with. So as we did last week and every week from here on out, it'll be like this. Our playlist kind of gives us a rundown of what we're doing for the week, but you need to check Classroom for all the specifics. It will tell you exactly in your assignment posts what you should be posting via photo, as well as any extra directions. If you ever have trouble finding videos or links, always check your playlist before you ask me, because typically that's where everything can be found. Remember when you're submitting work this week to try hard to make sure that your pictures are appearing vertical and upright, as opposed to horizontal and sideways. It's super difficult for me to grade work that's sideways. It's just a little more complicated. Also, some quick tips on taking clear pictures is there's a few options. You can use your Chromebook, but you can also use, if you have a phone or if a parent has a phone, there are some different apps on there, or pictures, or the camera's a little clearer. You just want to make sure that the picture you're submitting is something that you think I can read. Make sure your camera's focused, and that the easiest way to take a clear shot is to have your paper laying flat on the table as opposed to you holding it and trying to take a picture. It just helps with clarity. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Remember to try to contact me by 5 p.m. on Friday, as my weekends I spend with my family, and I hope you do as well. And also a friendly reminder that all homework is due by next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So I will start grading come Monday morning to try to have all your assignments ready to roll and graded by Tuesday. Have a great week, and let me know if you have any questions.